What's going on, y'all? I'm Chris Moses. This is Gospel Progressions University, and today we're going to talk about patterns. I'm going to show you the 7-step method to learn a song by listening for patterns. The first step number 1, we're going to look for the musician pattern. The first thing we want to find out is how hard or how easy the song is. So when we look for the official video, it'll probably show you, most likely, the amount of musicians that we see. If we see a WG, or 2 WG, WGs, and maybe a keyboard or no keyboard, then the song is cake and pie. For me, piece of cake, easy as pie. WG means white guy with guitars. So if I see more than 2 of them, I know, well, this is going to be an easy keyboard song for me. However, if I see more than 2 keyboards, and then the bass player has a keyboard, then I know I'm going to be in it for the long haul. Just the first thing, I want to know how hard or how easy the song is, because I want to know how much time I want to commit to it. So step 2 is looking for rhythm patterns. So let's take a song, My Worship, right? And I have it up here, and we'll play it, and we'll listen for the rhythm pattern. That'll tell us how hard or how much chords we got. All right. Okay, a song like this, it's in a 3/4 time. So I know that the rhythm is going to be on a downbeat on probably 3. We're probably going to get about 3 or 4 chords on those beats, all right? Or per beat, I should say. So listening to the melody as well, it doesn't move around. The intervals don't sound that jumpy. So the chords are probably just as simple, just listening to the rhythm. With 3/4 time signature rhythms, the chords tend to land on the downbeat. So this is how we know we can count just about how many chords we have in a section. Step 3 is we look for the melodic pattern. Like I said before, the melody is pretty simple sounding, so it's... So we're in this little box here with about 4 notes. So there couldn't be that many chords. So again, I'm getting a feeling of how many chords I'm going to actually have to play by listening to the melodic pattern, at least for the intro. But the intro repeats again. It's in the verse. Step 4, of course, is to listen to the bass pattern. It'll give us the roots of the chords and how many times the actual chord repeats, or the chord tonality. So let's take a listen to the bass. All right, so that's pretty simple, right? The bass pattern is just it's repeating, and these are the chords here, because you hear that it's not leaving the key diatonically. Most songs don't do that. Jazz songs might, but you have like, what's a CCC or a Christian contemporary song like this, they're not going to just bust out with crazy chord progressions right at the beginning of the song, especially for this kind of a feel. You're using your ears again to listen to how many instruments are involved and the push of the song as well, along with the bass pattern. So we have our 6, all right, 4, and then 1, and then 4. Very simple bass pattern, simple chords. So it's going to be 6, and with our melody on top. All right, and we can of course harmonize either with dyads or triads. A dyad is a 2-note chord, a triad is a 3-note chord. All right. Yeah, that's it. And it just repeats, so it goes right back to 1. So as we're listening for that, we understand what the chords are, what the chord structures are, and the timing of each chord along with the root of each chord. So step 5 is to listen for the chord patterns. And we picked up the chord pattern here. It's 6 is the first one, and then 4 is the second part of that phrase. And it's important because not every song is going to start on a root. It will start sometimes on, we have here the 6, or seldomly the 4. Okay, so we have the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 6 chord. In this case, is starting on the 6. So that's something that we're also paying attention to see where the song is actually going. Step number 6 is to listen to the patterns in the chorus. We're listening for the same things. We're listening for the melody, all right, for the rhythm, the bass, and the harmonies. And of course, the harmonies tend to come up when they sing the chorus after a couple times. Sometimes, most times, the singers, praise singers, choir is going to start in unison and then go to parts. The reason why this is good for you is that you hear the chords a lot easier because they're human voices versus a bunch of instruments on top. So, and then they tend to stand out, of course, louder in the mix, but you'll hear them, you hear the chords. Of course, with the chorus, it repeats. That's why it's called a hook as well. So you're able to get the harmony, the repetition, and any other chord changes that are there. So let's listen to the chorus. All right, here we go. Here it is. There's a little change there. Okay. So listening for that part, we hear that there's a chromatic walk up, of course. All right. We're not starting on the 1 or the 6 anymore. They're going to the 3, but of course this is related to the 1 chord. And one thing about the chorus is that, you know, they're going to have some changes in it, but you'll get to see where the song is going to reach, of course, its peak. And you have that typical, walk up with the gospel. So what we can do is listen into the melody. Again, we're in this little pocketed area here, so there's not a whole lot going on, except for the walk-ups. Now, this is the first time you hear us leave the key diatonically, at least to my hearing, all right? And of course, that's the D flat, and they go to the B to go to the E flat. And they do this several times, and then they do one thing here. They change this, so they go to the 2. So whenever you listen into a song, and don't be like me, you hear a song, you got to learn it quick. You get up to the, the vamp, or not the vamp, the chorus or the bridge of the song, and you're like, this is easy, I got it. They may have something else in store, or you may miss part of that. Oftentimes you'll find with songs, you're going to have some type of change, especially when something as repetitive as, just a chromatic walk up all the time. They're going to try to change something, do a little substitution. So what they did was take the 4's relative minor. And if you listen carefully, you hear that in the bass line. That's why it's important to hear the patterns in the bass line, because this is a pattern, but the pattern is broken. Instead of going to the D flat, they go to the B flat. Step 7 is to listen for patterns in the bridge of the song. Okay, so we have our intro, our verse, our chorus, and now let's take a listen to the patterns of the bridge. All right. Saying I will, and I will not be silent. I will always worship you. So yeah, that's the pattern there. They start again on 6. So we have that 6 chord, and it sets it up to walk up to go to the 5 over 7, and you go back to your 1. Stay there for a little bit. You got your 1 over your 3, and you go to the 4. Worship you, and they just repeats. So those are your 7 steps and your 7 patterns. There's a few other things that I can get into. Unfortunately, I don't have time on this video. I can't fill it all in one video. However, next week I will be live. You can catch me at gospelprogressionsuniversity.com/ear training bootcamp. I'm going to have a live workshop. You can register now for free. Any questions, you can hit me up in the comment section. I'll go ahead and I'll leave the link in the description. God bless you. Hope to see you there. If not, I will see you in the next video.